Hi, everybody. In this week's episode, we're talking about We Bury the Dead, Is This Thing On, and Primate.
And in the second half, we go 8 for all things Primate movies.
I think there's something wrong with Ben.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
And welcome to another episode of the A-List Admission.
Woo.
If it's your first time joining us, my name is Cheyenne.
My name is Ricardo.
And we are just a couple of Canadian cinephiles who just, give you our take on movies so you can find something to watch on cheap night Tuesdays.
Yeah. This is also the first episode of the new year.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this is the first review episode of
this is the first we're filming in the new year.
That too.
Yeah. So happy new year. Hope you all had a good year. We've had a good start to the month. We had a couple videos go viral-ish, like to hit the algorithm.
Yeah,
on a
weird jumps. But yeah, I mean, like, hey, we're always trying to grow. So I guess we can do this at the beginning. But follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast, TikTok,
Threads, Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Which our letterbox is fully updated, including these movies. That's...
Yep, go ahead.
I know, you go.
I was going to say the logo or the QR code for the letterbox will be on the screen as well.
Yeah.
Go.
All I was going to say was that kind of was our personal news, was the reels. If anyone's watching, Anaconda was the last movie we saw last year, and that particular reel hit over 14,000 views, which for us is great. Yeah. So really, really excited and grateful about that. So it can only go up. No, new year, new reset. So we're just excited that we have another year full of movies, and this year's going to be amazing with movies. So
yeah, I mean, we started off the year interesting, but let's go right into our movie news first.
Yeah, so we did not watch them, but the Critics' Choice Awards did air on January 4th. Ironically, the next award show is actually airing this Sunday, the Golden Globes.
Ooh, so we'll recap that one next week.
Yeah, the big one we would like to recap is the Oscars/Academy Awards, because that's movies, whereas Golden Globes is movies and TV, which no shade against TV. Obviously, we love TV. But
this podcast is full enough with enough movie news that
unless there's something that's really valid, like TV-wise, that deserves a news. But anyway, yeah, the Critics' Choice Awards did air on January 4th. Some of the most notable winners include actually Miles Catton from Sinners. Yep. He won Best Young Actor, which is amazing. I thought he was fantastic in his role, which, again, if you watched our last year A-List, that was... The Sinners movie was in our top 5 of the year. Yep. In terms of Best Actor, Best Actress, those went to Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme and Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. And I can totally see why they both won for the acting, even though I didn't really like those movies. The acting was
100%.
Amazing.
It was both really, really phenomenal.
And then Best Supporting Actress and Best Supporting Actor are actually Amy Madigan from Weapons, who is Aunt Gladys, and Jacob Elordi in Frankenstein. And again, acting superb. Weapons, out of all those 4 movies, Weapons was my movie of choice.
Yeah,
but
100%.
All the acting definitely worth those awards.
And to speak on Weapons quick, Amy Madigan definitely changed the scope of that movie for sure. So it's good to see that movie got some recognition at the Critics' Choice Awards.
100%. And it was just really exciting to see young actors get the credit they deserve. Timothée Chalamet as well. I think he kind of got snubbed at the Oscars last year. Yep. And then they came out with the whole story about people weren't watching the movie. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen at the Oscars this year.
For sure. All right. And so the second movie news is from Complex Pop Culture on Instagram. Netflix is going to limit Warner Brothers movies to a 17-day limit in the theater. Unless it's a hit like Oppenheimer was it last year? Oh my gosh.
I think so.
Whatever.
Not 2025.
No. Oh, yeah, 2024. Anyway, so hits like Oppenheimer or movies like that will have it 100 days in the theater instead.
That's crazy, though, shaking it up to just 17 days in the theater. I mean, I get it if the movie is kind of trash, and I get it also hits like Oppenheimer over 100 days, sure. But what if there's like a sleeper hit, and it only gets the 17 days?
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I don't like it at all. This is, they're reportedly planning this after they've acquired the studio. So we'll see what happens in the coming year.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where I'm like, movies should be at least a month in theaters no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the next piece of movie news is from Screen Thrill. A big news, at least for us, because we're huge fans of the Lord of the Rings series and the Hobbit series. But in the new movie, The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, it's been confirmed that Sir Ian McKellen and Elijah Wood are reprising Gandalf and Frodo in the movie. Production begins in May. And yeah, that's super exciting.
Yeah, it's actually really cool because I read this online too. We're gonna get both Magneto and obviously Gandalf. Sorry, oh my gosh,
in the same year.
In I think 2 different years.
Oh,
but like back to back years.
Yeah.
But like Ian McKellen's playing both of his most iconic roles very close together, which is really really cool.
I think it's amazing.
The final and last movie news is that Teagan Croft and Milo Manheim are Rapunzel and Flynn Rider in the live-action Tangled movie. This is brought to us by Screen Thrill as well. Yeah, they're both Disney Channel stars already. I've never heard of either one of them.
Me neither, but it's probably easy contract that way.
A cheap contract.
Just slide them,
yeah.
huh?
Cheap contract.
Yeah, just to slide them in that way. I see it with Teagan Croft. I do see it a lot, actually.
I see it with Milo.
With Milo as well, but obviously everyone was rooting for McKenna Grace and Mason Thames, obviously. But that didn't pan out. Which, whatever, it is what it is for that. But.
I don't know. I still would rather have them. Not to say that these guys aren't good enough for it. I just would rather have them.
Okay, so a good little chop variety of movie news. So now we're just going to shoot right into the movie reviews. We did see 3 movies in the last week, and that is We Bury the Dead.
Is This Thing On?
And Primate. Something we're doing a little different for this year that I'm including, because I usually like to write the notes out for the podcast episodes when we film them, so we have something to go off of. Mm-hmm. We've talked about the days we see them, but I've never really talked about the Canadian release dates because we are based in Canada. So when we do the movies from now on, I'm also going to mention the date they were released in Canada.
Yeah.
We may or may not have seen them on those days, and we may have actually seen them prior. For example, Primate actually came out today when we've already seen it. So
today as in...
January 9th, but we'll get to that date. So yeah, first movie we saw of the new year was We Bury the Dead, which was released in Canada on January 2nd, 2026. The director is Zach Hilditch, rated R for strong violent content, gore, language, and brief drug use, and it has a runtime of 1 hour and 35 minutes. And the main cast includes Daisy Ridley, Brenton Thwaites, Mark Cole-Smith, Matt Whelan, Chloe Hurst, Kim Jackson, and Dan Paris. And the spoiler-free synopsis is that after a catastrophic military experiment devastates Tasmania and leaves hundreds of thousands dead, the dead begin to reanimate and pursue the living. A grieving woman, refusing to accept her husband's fate, joins a body retrieval team and ventures into a dangerous quarantine zone in search of him. As corpses she's tasked with burying start showing unsettling signs of life, her journey becomes both a survival struggle and an emotional confrontation with loss, hope, and the true cost of closure. So, what did you think of We Bury the Dead?
It was very middle of the road kind of movie for me. It wasn't that it was a bad acting. It wasn't that it was a bad story. It wasn't that it was a bad... It wasn't a bad movie. I think it's just boring. Like... A lot of it was a lot of waiting to see what was going to happen, a lot of talking, and like even the emotional stuff I thought was kind of like there and far between. It was a lot of like pushing along. Yeah.
I agree. I'm going to be a lot tighter on my ratings this year because I think I was a little too loosey-goosey with some of them last year. This movie, I thought I was very excited for it. Not because it's a zombie movie, because as I've mentioned in the past, I'm not a huge fan of zombie movies. But I was just excited to see something that was like gritty, maybe horror thriller. Mm. And it had Daisy Ridley, so I was excited to see her in something again. It just flatlined for me. I thought it was pretty, like, middle of the road, but a little worse. Like a dead end.
For you.
On the road.
Yeah, like for me, it's gonna be a 5. Like I think I settled with 5.
So I've officially settled with a 4.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty fine with that. Would I watch it again? No. That's where I'm getting my.
I feel like I would
from.
I feel like I would watch it one more time. but I don't think I would watch it again after that.
I think it almost needed an extra like 10-ish minutes of exposition. Like, if anything, I think it might have been a bit too short. I just wanted a little more detail on certain things. It just seemed a little rushed at times.
I agree that it's short. It definitely needed more time. 10 minutes I don't think would have been enough. I think it needed way more time than that.
But you agree it needed more time?
Yeah, because I don't think it's exposition we were missing. I think it was action. I think you needed some, especially for a zombie movie, this was very slow.
Yeah.
Like, very slow. Like, I think, like I don't want to compare it too much to 28 years later, but like even 28 years later last year was very different, right? Like for a movie,
which that's coming out next week.
Bone Temple, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, like I expected there to be a little bit more running away from zombies or groups of zombies attacking or like your kind of traditional zombie tropes, but at the same time, like treating this differently. The other part of it was this was more of an emotional story in the midst of a zombie thing, but even the emotional stuff to me kind of just came and went very quick, and you didn't get a full story of it till the very end, but a lot of gaps in between. Yeah, it just felt like we could have learned a lot more.
Yeah.
And done a lot more with the characters than what ended up happening.
Yeah. It didn't leave me like sad or happy or anything. It just was, this was a kind of a waste of time.
Oh, see, I didn't think it was a waste of time, but I thought it was like, okay. Like it was a movie.
Yeah, definitely like, just a movie.
But I honestly don't think it's like bad.
No, it's not bad, but it's a 4 out of 10 for me.
For you. For me, it's a 5 because I would watch it again maybe one more time, but like just to kind of see if I missed anything before. But like not Fair. Because I super enjoyed it, right?
Fair.
Yeah. Okay. So the second movie we watched was Is This Thing On?, which released December 19th of 2025 for us Canadians. The director was Bradley Cooper. The rating was rated R for language throughout, some drug use and sexual references, and the runtime is 2 hours and 4 minutes approximately. Your main cast is Will Arnett, Laura Dern, Andra Day, Bradley Cooper, Amy Sedaris, Sean Hayes, Christine Ebersole, and Kieran Hines. And here's the spoiler-free synopsis. Is This Thing On is a heartfelt comedy drama about a long-married couple navigating an emotional aftermath of their divorce. As their marriage quietly unravels, the husband seeks a new purpose by dipping his toes into New York's stand-up comedy scene, using humor as a way to process life changes and rediscover himself. Meanwhile, his ex confronts personal sacrifices she made for their family and charts her own path forward. The story centers on identity, co-parenting, midlife transitions, and whether love can take new forms as both characters find themselves in unexpected emotional territory. So what did you think of Is This Thing On?
I really liked it. But the thing was, I knew I would like it. I just knew it was long. So I was like, I'm not looking forward to how long it is. And I am right in that I think it was a bit too long. I think all the movies' run times could have been flipped around here and there that we saw. But I really liked it. Also, as Ricky had mentioned, December 19th when it came out in Canada, but it was limited everywhere for the longest time. So it finally got released to somewhere in our vicinity that we could go. So we were able to see it. That's why we're reviewing it now, because we were able to see it this year. Yeah,
we were talking about this movie for 2-3 weeks before.
Yeah.
Like, we were trying to see if we can get it near us, and we finally got a chance to.
But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very good story. I already really liked Laura Dern and Will Arnett anyway. And I thought it was a lot more emotionally deep than I thought. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah. I was worried the comedy bit of it was going to take away from the emotional part of it, but it really doesn't. Like, I think this movie is really good at telling the emotional story, elevating the emotional stakes, changing it up. The comedy part I thought was really cool too, kind of getting like a weird behind the scenes of like how stand-up comedy works in New York. Yeah, I disagree with Cheyenne about the length. I thought it was great. I didn't think it felt long or short. The only thing to me would have been I would have taken it maybe even a little bit longer just to kind of fill out the ending of the story. But again, like that, but I was also happy with the length. Like, if it didn't add that, it didn't add that. But I really did like it. I thought to me, this is one of Will Arnett's best movies. I think especially for like being a lead in something. Like I've seen Arrested Development, and Lego Batman is a different thing all entirely. But as a stand-in lead for a dramatic series and for a comedic series, this is really good. Like I was really impressed, and like Cheyenne said, Laura Dern is phenomenal. So.
And Bradley Cooper was great.
Bradley Cooper recently, especially, has been so eclectic with how he plays his roles,
and he directed it. So
yeah, well, and his directing skills is phenomenal from what we've heard and seen. But like no, like Bradley Cooper can really change the kind of game he is in anything, right? Like from A Star Is Born to Guardians of the Galaxy to this is so different, like very, very different Bradley Cooper. And I thought he was phenomenal in this, truly.
Yeah.
Yeah. My rating for this movie is a 7.
Mine is also a 7.
Yeah.
I think it was strong enough I would rewatch this.
Oh, I would absolutely rewatch it.
It makes me want to visit New York. It makes me want to visit the underground comedy scene. It makes me want to do a lot of things that they do in the movie.
Yeah, I think this but it also is kind of, it gives a new perspective to relationships that I thought was really, really good. Like, I'm not going to say it because it'll spoil it a little bit, but like, no, like it was something where even afterwards, I even went to Cheyenne and I was like, oh, it's an interesting way to look at life and how you view relationships between a significant other or even like friends and stuff. It was really cool. I really liked it. I thought it was like, it really does deserve a 7 for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And the last and final is Primate, which, again, released in Canada on January 9th of this year. The director is Johan Roberts. It's rated R for strong violent content, gore, language, and some drug use, and it has a runtime of 1 hour and 29 minutes. And the main cast include Johnny Sequoia, Jessica Alexander, Troy Kotzer, Victoria Wyant, Gia Hunter, Miguel Torres Umba, Benjamin Chang, Charlie Mann, Tian Simon, and Ben Pronsky. I should also mention Ben Pronsky is uncredited, but he's the voice of Ben, the chimp. Mm-hmm. And the spoiler-free synopsis is that, on a tropical vacation, a group of friends reunites with a beloved chimpanzee companion until a deadly twist turns their getaway into a terrifying fight for survival. After the chimp contracts rabies and becomes violently aggressive, the group must band together and use every resource they have to stay alive against an increasingly ruthless and primal threat. So, what did you think of Primate?
It was okay, this movie to me was, it did a good job at being a horror movie. Do I think it's great? No. Do I think it's bad? No. I think it's very, very middle of the road.
It is kind of middle of the road, but it reminded me of Twilight in that it was so bad it was good for me. I thought some scenes were a little too dark, so they were trying to use the darkness to like emphasize something gory happening or something freaky happening, and I think they could have brightened it in spots lighting wise, not brighten the personality or whatever. Just right. I think it was a little too dark. Not scary. I love chimp movies, primate movies, all that jazz, so I was looking forward to it anyway. But then I was like, it's only 1 hour and a half, and usually horror movies that are that short are not always the best.
No, but I didn't think, like, for movies that were that short in general, I don't think this one was that bad.
No, I preferred it over We Bury the Dead. I did not prefer it over Is This Thing On? Yeah. But it was entertaining. I would definitely watch it again. Again, so bad it was good.
There's 2 things I want to point out to this. One, obviously, it's not a real monkey, right? Like, they can't.
CGI, yes.
So I know when we were watching the movie, Cheyenne mentioned how it kind of took away from the movie for her. For me, I thought, like, because they can't use a real monkey, I thought they did a decent job with it. I didn't think it was like that CGI.
You're right, because obviously they're not real in Planet of the Apes, and I love the new Planet of the Apes. So like Andy Serkis is great as Caesar. So like so by the end of it, I was like, okay, I get why they had to do that, but I also in parts didn't think the monkey looked like a monkey. Like the CGI on the face could have been a little better.
I think the thing is they really tried to emphasize
that he had rabies.
Yeah, and really psycho.
Like, and that's the thing, you never really see his eyes, even in like the trailer. Like
really covered.
It's very dark, like very, very dark.
Well, like in the day you do see him.
Yeah, but I don't want to go any further. I just like
the other thing I wanted to mention was this movie is very gory. Like
it's obscenely gory.
Like, and we were having this conversation with Cheyenne because I thought Like, the one thing I think this movie does achieve very well is that it adds scare because it's not willing to hold, or it's willing to not hold back, right? Like, it's able to be gore. Like, in those scenes where someone does die, like, it doesn't hold back. It's going to show you everything.
But also what you were saying yesterday was it adds tension.
It does.
That's
it really
what it does.
Right? But the other thing is that, like, this movie kind of does gore obscenely. Like, it kind of to the ridiculousness of it.
A little over dramatized gore. And I'm like, there's a time and place for gore. And I love a good gore scene. Like, don't get me wrong. Still a huge horror movie fan. This is just too, like, oh, come on. Like, cheesy.
For me, it was just like there were moments where this monkey went off and you're like, kind of like, okay, this is a lot. Like,
it would not happen this way in reality. Mind you, this made us think of, what was it, Chimp Crazy?
Yeah, exactly.
In that people having apes and chimps and monkeys as pets.
Yeah.
Just don't do it, first off. Unfortunately, it does make for interesting TV for me, like Tiger King and Chimp Crazy. Both of them were intriguing to watch, but it's sad.
It's so sad. But yeah, like,
this is the extreme of that.
Yeah. Like, for me, when it came to this movie in terms of, like, the scare value to this was, like, this movie was scarier than other movies because it was able to show things like deaths happening in a very gruesome way. But is it scary? No. Did it add a lot of tension? Yes.
Alongside me going back to the darkness thing, the majority of the movie does take place at night. Mm-hmm. But I will say it got darker when something was about to happen. So I think that spoiled it a bit for me, was that when I saw it was getting really dark, I'm like, oh, someone's either gonna or gore or something.
Well, like, they telegraphed everything that happened. Like, this movie also isn't clever enough to go, ooh, I didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell when someone's going to die. You can tell when something was going to happen. Like, it was pretty obvious. I think there was only, like, one or two times we were like, oh, okay, that's cool. We didn't expect that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was very, very telegraphed. My rating for this movie.
Mine's a 5.5.
I was just about to say 5.5.
Because you beat me to it last time. So before I could say anything.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. 5.5. I think we're almost the same except for We Bury the Dead. The other.
Yeah.
But 5.5 is good because I would rewatch this and it's a little bit more than mid.
I agree. I think it's on the better side of things, but it's also not traditionally good.
And it's not the best chimp primate movie I've seen.
No, not even close.
So that's, yeah.
Yeah.
But out of the three, I mean, I would say is this thing on, but because it's such a limited release, in the grand scheme of the other two, I would say see Primate.
That.
Ditto.
But no, like, honestly, if I will recommend is this thing on to a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you can go see it, or if there's a place that is going to show it more like widespread, then please go watch it. I think that movie does talk about a lot of deep stuff that is very healing. I think so.
Well, also the other thing is we use tribute.ca to find out a lot of the movies coming soon to Canada, really. And then it'll say limited or not limited, whatever. Anyway, even though it came out in December of 2025, the release date on Tribute does show January 9th. So it may actually be more widespread as of today because we're filming on January 9th.
Yeah, I'll actually leave a note on it to see see if it is, and then if it is, then you can see it more.
Perfect.
Cool. Yeah. Do you want to go into our second half?
All right. So let's get right into our second half. And like I said, it is all about primate movies. And I can't tell you how excited I was to say we go ape for primate movies. I was really excited for how punny that was. So thank you for letting me have that moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, primate movies. It's when monkeys mean business. So primate movies are one of cinema's most fascinating subgenres because they sit right at the intersection of heart, horror, and absolute chaos. These movies can make us cry, panic, or question why we ever let a primate near human society in the first place.
Well, why do primate movies work? Primates are just human adjacent enough to be compelling. They reflect us back at ourselves. Our intelligence, our flaws, and our obsession with control. That closeness makes their stories either deeply emotional or deeply terrifying, and sometimes both.
So let's go into like some gentle giants and some tragic apes, and the perfect choice for that is where Mighty Joe Young, really shines. So Mighty Joe Young, there was 2 versions. There was one in 1949, and then the one I'm familiar with is in 1998 that I would loved as a kid. But it presents the ape, as in Joe, not as a monster, but like a protector. Joe is massive and powerful, yet he's gentle, loyal, and like especially with the humans he trusts, like Charlize Theron is in it. He's just a kind soul. But like King Kong, Joe is ultimately a tragic figure. But where Kong is feared, Joe is actually misunderstood. So he doesn't want domination, he just wants peace. And you can see that in the movie as well. But both of those films, King Kong and Mighty Joe Young, or these type of tragic ape movies, lean into the idea that humanity's greatest flaw isn't fear, it's actually exploitation. But Joe kind of represents the, like, what if we just left him be? That kind of argument that keeps circling back in those primate movies.
And there's other types of ape movies or primate movies, like the philosophical apes. Planet of the Apes asks the big questions like intelligence, language, leadership, and whether humanity deserves to be top of the food chain. The modern trilogy especially flips this on its head. Humans become a cautionary tale. These films suggest that primates don't become dangerous on their own, but we push them there.
And then there's like the chaos gremlins. So like 3 minor honorary mentions being outbreak. So like 1 monkey, 1 disease, but like worldwide consequences, kind of in essence like COVID-esque.
Yeah.
Or there's another illness that went around with monkeys.
I don't know it.
Okay. Congo's another one. It was a weaponized gorillas, because weaponized gorillas. And then Monkey Shines, which was proof that even a helper monkey can turn sinister really fast. But essentially just tells us to stop giving monkeys jobs because it never goes well.
Then there's the unhinged fun zone, where primates who exist purely for vibes. Dunstan checks in, MVP, most valuable primate, and Ed are all examples of this. No deeper meaning, just monkeys doing things they should not be doing.
I should also say Dunstan checks in was one of my absolute favorites as a kid.
And MVP was mine.
Really?
Yeah, I loved MVP.
But there is a core theme that kind of ties all this together. Whether it's Mighty Joe Young, King Kong, Planet of the Apes, it stays very consistent that humans always interfere, nature always responds, and we genuinely just act shocked. Primate movies aren't really about the animals. They're about the human arrogance and the consequences of ignoring said arrogance.
Here are some questions. Is Mighty Joe Young the purest example of a good-hearted primate in film?
Off the top of my head, yes. Because good-hearted primate, yes. Because you could say, oh, Dunstan checks in, it's a fun, cute movie. But he's a rowdy little chimp. Like, he gets into things, right? I could also say Curious George. But again, curious. He's too curious. So like, good-hearted, but he is naive.
Naive, but like pure-hearted is a good example.
But Mighty Joe Young, he's good-hearted, and he's at the age where he knows he's good-hearted, and he just wants to be kind.
I think it depends on what we ask for, right? Like, I think... like we can even go, is a good-hearted primate the monkey or ape from George of the Jungle?
Oh yeah,
right. But like, is that movie really about the primates? No, you know what I mean. Like, so I don't know. I think honestly, Curious George is a great example of one because he is just naturally good-hearted. Because in all those movies, anything with Curious George, he could act out of malice, but he never does.
No, he doesn't act out of malice, but he gets a little into things, right?
Yeah, but that's not being bad-hearted. It's just being, like you said, naive, right?
But the purest example, right? I could see where Mighty Joe Young beats that out.
I think they're on par to me, personally.
Who's more tragic, Joe or Kong?
Joe.
I think so, too, because I just do. Like,
I think Kong is the difference is that Kong is violent, right? Like even if there's so many iterations of King Kong, but if we go by the one with like the King Kong movie with Jack Black in it,
Skull Island? Was that Skull Island, or was it just called King Kong?
It's just called King Kong, the one, the Peter Jackson one. That's what it is. He is violent. Like he takes down dinosaurs. He fights his way through things. Yeah, it's just he's violent, and so people see the violence in Kong and then get feared by him, whereas Joe doesn't show any signs of violence. Right, he's just very very calm and very like it is pure good-hearted.
Okay. Yeah, I completely agree. I think Kong is too violent to be tragic. I mean, it is still tragic, sure, but I've always had a soft spot for Joe, so I'd go with Joe.
Are primate movies better when they're emotional or chaotic?
Chaotic. I like Planet of the Apes chaotic.
But Planet of the Apes is super emotional too.
Yeah, it is.
Like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes there is chaos in it for sure. But
that one's the more emotional, I think. I liked War for the Planet of the Apes. But that one's pretty chaotic. It's literally a war.
But even Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is still phenomenal.
They're all great, but I think chaotic, I guess, to an extent.
See, for me, I like the emotional side of things.
I know you always do.
Like I don't mind the actiony stuff to it, but I think there's no. To me, chaos is fun when there's emotional stakes added to it.
At what point do we stop saying "aw" and start running?
Almost immediately.
I would have said as soon as you see a pet monkey.
Yeah, I was gonna say
like as soon as you see a chimp as a pet, a monkey as a pet, run.
Well, as soon as monkeys get captured, as soon as primates get pulled into captivity, as soon as people think they can control them, it's always a bad time. I think that's when it's usually like, oh yeah, this is a good time to like
go off.
Yeah.
Run. Yeah. Okay.
That's all of our questions, and that's all of our second half for primates. But we do have our Did We Know? So, do you want to start?
Sure. It's all primate movies of the modern era. So, number 1, King Kong's size is never consistent on purpose. In modern Kong movies, his scale changes scene to scene, so the audience feels his power emotionally rather than measuring him logically, ironically, as we were talking about that. But did we know? No.
No. I thought it was very hard, fast thing. Mind you, I don't think, to me, I don't think that it reflects that properly. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like if you had him at a standard size, I think people would still be terrified of him regardless.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. Mighty Joe Young was one of Disney's most expensive practice runs. It lost money theatrically, but the tech developed for Joe directly fed into future Disney creature effects. Basically, an R&D movie hiding as a family film. Did we know?
No.
No.
But I knew it lost a lot of money. Like, it wasn't well received that much.
No, which is sad, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's a lot of movies that do that are, like, not necessarily for film success, but also do help with the future of film, right?
Number 3, Planet of the Apes treats the apes like a foreign language film. Entire scenes were choreographed as if Caesar and the apes were speaking another language first, then translated for humans later. Did we know?
No, but that's really cool.
Yeah, I kind of figured that they would be like a foreign language film because it's chimp language or whatever, or ape language. But no, I didn't really know that.
I think it adds a lot of sophistication to the monkeys, right? Because if you treated it like they're just an extension of the humans, it dumbs them down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like giving them like their own language and like sign and like, because they do a lot of sign language and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that adds so much strength to them and really makes them a prominent and prolific force in those movies. Cool. All right. So the number 4 was Andy Serkis wasn't allowed to act human as Caesar. He was instructed to suppress human habits, eye contact, posture, gestures, so Caesar would read as intelligent animal and not as a guy in a suit. Did we know?
No, but I've seen him do his acting and stuff for it, and obviously he was hunched over and like his posture was different, but I didn't know he was he was told to suppress.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I wasn't told that he was. I didn't know he was told to suppress it. But what's the gentleman's name that does King Proximus Caesar?
Yes, Kevin Durand.
Thank you. If you've seen him act as,
oh my gosh, it's so good.
It's very much in that realm to me, and like brilliant. If that's how they have to do it to make it feel more authentic, dude, I'm all
he's so
for it.
Freaking good.
Oh. Honestly, both Andy Serkis and him are really good.
And last but not least, modern primate movies changed how animals are portrayed across Hollywood. After Planet of the Apes, studios stopped defaulting to evil animal tropes and started treating animals as POV characters with moral agency. Did we know?
No.
No, but I guess I see it a little now. But I didn't really know that was a thing, you know.
Mind you, then this movie Primate just changes that completely.
Yeah.
But it also, I guess it's not his fault. Like, he is dealing with it. I don't know. I get it. I do get it. I think the other part of that to me though is like let the storyteller be the storyteller, and let if it's an evil animal, it's an evil animal. I don't think it's gonna cause that much hate towards animals in general that it's gonna be that bad. But as long as we're not using real animals and killing real animals, I think we're fine no matter what story people want to tell.
Yeah, agreed.
Cool. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching our episode. That's everything. I'm sorry that it's maybe a little shorter. I can't even tell. It feels long and short all at the same time.
So, again, thank you so much for watching. If you can, and if you'd like to, please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and comment and like on all social media. We are at the A-List Admission on everything, and then X and Letterboxd, we are at the A-List Pod. Letterboxd is our movie diary, so any movie as we see it, we will update it right then and there. Our ratings are at a 5 on there, so we just average it out of our ratio here out of 10. Again, we have TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Threads, X, Letterboxd, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts. Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, we have short form content, and then Spotify and YouTube, we have long form content, including audio and video versions of everything. TikTok and Instagram, we do have those fun reels and shorts. Again, YouTube, we do have shorts. The reels are a lot of fun. People love them, and they give you a quick little mini review. But if you'd like to see a broader scale and not just one scene to pinpoint, feel free to watch our long form content. Rate us on Spotify. We would love to see that. And anywhere you get your podcasts, we are there, ready for you to listen to our soothing voices. Do you want to go into our opinions?
Well, these are just our opinions, so if you have any feelings towards it, tough darts, no, just comment it below and let us know what you think. We always get people that argue with what we think, and that's totally okay. You're entitled to your opinion. We just are entitled to ours as well. But yeah, like we argue all the time on these podcasts. We don't always agree. Like, what's the first movie? Oh my gosh, I already forgot.
We Bury the Dead.
Thank you. But yeah, like we didn't agree necessarily, but that's okay, right? We're all different.
Yeah.
But please send it to this video, the reels, whatever, to your family, friends, enemies, coworkers, pets, you name it. Just not your pet monkey. But yeah. The other thing I want to say is that for one of our one of our short content is our popper flops. I don't think we give it that enough credit. I think it's really fun. I think it's really cute. And it's like a very short mini review.
They're literally, as soon as we get out of the theater, hop in the car, we film our reaction right away. A pop being good, flop being bad.
Yeah. But I think it's a really good way to, if you're a little bit on the impatient side of wanting to watch the movie right away, that's a good kind of like vibe check on each movie to kind of say, is it good? Is it bad?
And it's like 20 seconds tops. So
I don't think we even cracked a minute on those.
No. We haven't even cracked 30 seconds. So
even better. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and
we'll see you at the movies.
See you there. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye.